In the previous lesson, we covered how to create objects. In this lesson, we'll cover how to edit created objects. The subjects covered in this lesson are using the Select tool, how to resize, rotate, and delete objects. We'll cover how to align, distribute, and set the order of objects. And finally, we will learn how to change an object's fill and line attributes, both with color and pattern options. Before an object can be altered, it first has to be selected. The Select tool is used for this purpose and is also used for altering objects and shapes. It is this arrow-looking tool at the top of the tool groups on the left side of the screen. In fact, this is the primary tool that you will use to move, resize, rotate, and reshape objects of your design. There are several ways to select objects. The first way is by clicking directly on the object to select it. You will know when an object is selected because 9 grab handles will surround the object. To add to the selection, hold the Shift key down and start clicking other objects that you'd like to be part of the selection. The second way of selecting objects is by clicking and dragging the mouse around objects you'd like to select. When this is done, a box with a dashed line will start to form. As it starts to form, objects that are within the box are automatically selected. To select all the objects, click on the Edit pull-down menu and choose Select All. This can also be done by pressing Ctrl-A on the PC and Command-A on the Mac. Once objects are selected, they can be manipulated. To move an object that has a fill, hover the mouse over the fill of the object. When the pointer turns into a little hand, click, hold, and drag the object to a new location. To move an object that has no fill, hover the mouse over the outline of the object. Once again, when the pointer turns into a little hand, click, hold, and drag the object to a new location. If you want, selecting and moving an object can be done in one motion. Hover the mouse over the path, or if it has a fill, the center of the object, and then click, hold, and drag the object to a new location. Objects can also be moved with more accuracy. By clicking on the Move tool icon, the side panel opens up with several choices of moving objects by a distance value. The side panel has 4 types of movement described below. Move by distance will move selected objects relative to their current position. By clicking on one of the 4 choices of right, up, left, and down, it will move the selected object in that direction by the distance entered in the box above. For instance, if we enter 1 inch in the box above, and then press the down arrow, it will move the object 1 inch down from its current position. Move by will move selected objects relative to their current position by the X and Y distance values. Let's enter 1 inch for X and 1 inch for Y. Then, once the values are set, click Apply, and the object will move 1 inch up and 1 inch to the right. Move Corner to will move the lower left corner of the object to the X and Y position that is entered. Let's say that we want the object to be placed in the lower left corner of the media page with a 1/4 inch margin. We can enter 0.25 in both the X and Y boxes and then click Apply. And there we have it. Move Center to will move the center of the object to the X and Y position that is entered. Once the values are set, click Apply. When objects are selected, they can be scaled or resized proportionately or non-proportionately by either using the 9 grab handles with the Select tool or by using the Scale tool icon, which opens scaling options in the side panel. To scale the object using the Select tool, First select the object, then click, hold, and drag one of the corner grab handles, and the objects start to scale proportionately. Click, hold, and drag one of the top, bottom, or side grab handles, and the object is then stretched either sideways by the side grab handles or vertically by the top or bottom grab handles. For more accurate scaling, click on the Scale tool icon. This will open the scale options in the side panel with different methods for scaling objects. The first section will scale the objects by one of the preset percentages of 33%, 50%, 200%, and 300%. These preset percentage values are also found under the Object pull-down menu under Scale. Custom is for entering a specific percentage size. Once a percentage is entered, click Apply. Specified dimensions will allow a specific size for the width and height. When lock aspect ratio is checked, if one dimension is adjusted, it will keep the object proportionate. If lock aspect ratio is not checked, the object will be stretched. For instance, let's say we wanted the object to be exactly 5 inches in the width, but we didn't care about the height, and we wanted to keep the object proportional. The first thing we would do is enable the lock aspect ratio checkmark. Then set the width, represented by the W, to 5, and then click Apply. Notice that the height is adjusted as well to keep the object proportionate. Notice that when an object is selected, it will have one green control handle here at the top. This grab handle is used for rotating the object. It works in the same manner as the other grab handles in that you click, hold, and drag the handle, and it rotates the object's center being the pivot point. Once again, we can rotate the object with more accuracy by clicking on the Rotate tool icon, which will open the rotate options in the sidebar. Here we have the choice of rotating objects to predetermined rotation angles of 45, 90, and 180 degrees clockwise, as well as 45 and 90 degrees counterclockwise. Clicking on one of these options will rotate the object from its current angle. The Rotate To section has options that will rotate the selected objects by the common angles of 0, 90, 180, and 270 degrees. These preset angle values are also found under the Object pull-down menu under Rotate. Custom Rotate By rotates the object by the specified angle from its current position. Custom Rotate To rotates the object to the specified angle. To delete an object, simply select the object and press the Delete key. Objects can also be deleted by selecting the object, clicking the Edit pull-down menu, and then selecting Delete. The final way is to select the object, right-click on it, and then select Delete in the context menu. As multiple objects are placed on the preview area, they may overlap each other. Whether an object or a shape is in front or in the back of the other shapes is called arranging the object order. This becomes more apparent when using filled shapes. For instance, on the screen there are 4 shapes in a certain order. The goal here is to send the red triangle to the back. Currently it is in the front. To position it or to send it so that it is in the back of the shapes, click on the Object pull-down menu and hover over Arrange, and 4 choices present themselves. Bring to Front will position the selected object or objects in front of all the other objects. Bring Forward, and the selected object or objects is brought forward 1 level. Send to Back will position the selected object or objects in the back of all the other objects. And Send Backward will send the selected object or objects backward one level. In this case, we want to send the red triangle toward the back, so we'll select Send to Back. And this places the object behind all the other objects. Objects can also be arranged by using shortcut keys. For instance, if we wanted to bring the red triangle forward, we would select the object, which is already done, and press Ctrl right bracket. This brings the red triangle up one level, just above the blue rectangle. Objects could also be arranged by using the contextual menu options. Recall that in order to do this, right-click on the object and select Bring Forward, which places the red triangle in front of the green pentagon. Keep in mind that there are two button icons in the Quick Edit tool group, Bring to Front and Send to Back. Objects can be aligned by clicking on the Align tool icon. This will open up the alignment options in the sidebar. Here we can choose what kind of alignment that we would like to use for the selected objects. To really see how the sidebar options work, we have created 6 objects and placed them in a diagonal pattern to show how each option will affect the alignment. First, we'll select all 6 objects. If we click on Center, this will align all the selected objects to the center of the selected objects. Align Left will align the objects to the leftmost point of the selected objects. Align Center will align the vertical center point of the selected objects. Align Right will align the objects to the rightmost point of the selected objects. Align Top will align the objects to the top point of the selected objects. Align Middle will align the objects to the middle point of the selected objects. Align Bottom will align the objects to the bottom point of the selected objects. Let's undo the bottom alignment by pressing Ctrl-Z or Command-Z on the Mac, and then select Align Center. Notice that the spacing between the objects is uneven. In the Alignment side panel, there are several options to space these objects evenly. The 2 spacing choices are Space Horizontally and Space Vertically. In this case, we'll choose Space Vertically. And now all the objects are spaced evenly. Alignment and spacing can also be applied to objects by clicking on the Object pull-down menu, selecting Align, and then choosing the alignment or spacing options available there. Object shapes may use different properties such as line colors, line types, fill colors, gradient fills, and fill patterns that affect how they look. Lines by default display with a red color, whereas fills usually default to a clear or blank color. Both the fill and line colors may be altered to a preferred color. To change an object's line color, select the object or objects. Open the Line Color side panel by clicking on the Line Color tool icon. This will open the side panel with a color chart, as shown in the side panel. Clicking on any one of the colors will change that object's outline path to that color. The Line Style side panel options includes the line width as well as the line type, such as solid and dashed. By clicking on the Line Style tool icon, the side panel will open up with options to adjust the line width and line type. Line Style is the type of line. There are several line types to choose from. The line thickness determines the line width. It is measured and altered by using point sizes and may be adjusted to any thickness. It is adjusted by either manually dragging the line thickness slider or by typing in the desired point size for the thickness. Note that while the line width may be adjusted, the line will always cut as a single line when it is sent to the cutter. Thus, thicker lines are generally used to affect the look of an object for printing. The Corner Style option will adjust how lines appear at the corner points of an object. Corner is an acute angle of the two lines that make the corner, whereas rounded will round out the corners. The End Cap Style option will only adjust lines that have open ends, whereas Flat provides a sharper flat edge at the line tip, and Rounded provides a smoother rounded edge to the line tip. The Position option will place the line either in front of a filled shape or behind the filled shape. If you desire to send your document to a printer to print your images, the Print Lines of Selected Shapes option will enable all lines of selected images to be printed as they appear on the screen. Changing an object's fill color uses the same method. Click on the object or objects. This time, though, we'll open the Fill Color side panel by clicking on the Fill Color tool icon. Once again, the side panel displays with the same color chart. Clicking on any one of the colors will change the object's fill to that color. To remove an object's line or fill color, click on the box with the crosshatch pattern. The Eyedropper tool is useful for when there is a need to set a fill color of a selected object to the same color of another object in the preview area, or in your design. For instance, here we have a simple graphic that is to be a bumper sticker. The goal here is to change the outer outline bar to match the color of the text. The first step is to select the outer bar, click on the Eyedropper tool, and click on the object to grab the color, in this case the text. At the bottom of either color chart is a choice to view advanced options. Clicking on this link will switch the side panel to allow for customizing the color. There are several ways to adjust the color here in the side panel. First is by picking a color from the spectrum, such as an RGB value or an HSL value. Or third, entering a color number. The transparency of the fill or line can also be adjusted by dragging the transparency bar to the left or right, or by typing in the desired percentage. Be mindful that 0% is completely opaque and 100% is completely clear. To switch back to the standard color palette, click on Basic Options at the bottom of the side panel, and this returns us to the original color palette. Gradients are very effective for adding interest to objects in your design. Similar to filling images with solid colors, any closed shape can be filled with a gradient. To view the gradient options in the side panel, click on the Gradient tool icon next to the Fill tool icon. To apply a gradient to a shape, select the shape to fill. Click on any one of the pre-installed gradient swatches in the side panel. At the bottom of the side panel, you can change the gradient angle or direction to one of these choices. Clicking on the advanced options at the bottom will open the side panel to more gradient settings. At the top is where the number of color bars in the gradient can be set. To add more colors, double-click in the white area on the right. To change the color of a bar, select one of the colors below. If you need a different color, more colors can be chosen, and a color can be set from the system colors. Below the color bars is where the angle or direction of the gradient can be adjusted. To change the angle, grab the red line and rotate it. As the line is rotated, the gradient is rotated within the object. As with the fill and line color, the transparency can be set to give a more subtle look. To go back to the gradient palette, click on the basic options at the bottom. Along with filling objects with colors and gradient, they can also be filled with provided patterns that are adjustable. Clicking on the Pattern tool icon will open the side panel with a variety of fill patterns. The top group is dot patterns, and the bottom group is line patterns. Let's choose one of the dot patterns and adjust it a little. Adjustments to the pattern can be made by clicking on the Advanced Options link at the bottom of the side panel. This will display options that can adjust the look of the pattern. For instance, you can mirror the pattern both in the horizontal and the vertical directions. You can have the pattern fixed or stretched. The pattern can be rotated to one of the set angles here, or the rotation can be customized by rotating the red rotation line here. The pattern can also be scaled to a percentage. If you are not sure how the pattern should fit, clicking on the Pan Pattern button will allow you to move the pattern within the object. Finally, the pattern transparency can be adjusted for a lighter look. Of course, once the pattern is adjusted to the desired look, click on the Basic Options link below. In the library lesson, you'll learn how to make your own patterns.